Hello, 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 hello. Well, folks, it's yours truly, the Morning Gardener, and I am live today. Just came from outside, setting out the trash and uh, and looking around in the yard. Everything on Earth out there is overgrown, and I'm going to have to address that. Um, the trees covered with vines, and I've been working and taking care of myself and trying to understand where this vine came from. I believe it came in here with the wood chips. That's what I'm saying. Um, and what happened was I had some apples that were growing outside, and these apples were apples that I bought the trees from an online store. This year it was real poor um, stock here in the area where I live in Baltimore, Maryland, and they didn't stock a lot of fruit trees this year in any of the big box stores. Not that I would go and buy one from them because they usually carry what they call a semi dwarf. And here lately, some of the stores have been getting uh, some of the dwarf trees. These trees can get pretty big, folks. Don't let the name fool you, dwarf. They can get pretty wide across. They can get pretty tall. Some of the dwarf trees I purchased uh, are at least 23 feet tall. And I got cherry trees and apple trees, and I also have trees that, for instance, um, plums, peaches. Yeah, yeah, plums and peaches, pears. Always forget about the pear trees, and they need to be cleaned up. I'm gonna try to clean some of them up tomorrow. Now, these are the tree apples that I got. Now I'm gonna give you an honest taste test when I do check this apple. Now this looks like to me to be an apple called Granny Smith, and that's one of the apples that I grow. I grow the Granny Smith. I also grow the Honeycrisp, Pink Lady, and the Fuji. As far as my apples are concerned, but let's see how this tastes. Now, the, the whole part of this year, I've been buying my own apples from the store that I eat daily. And let's just see how this tastes now. So I hope this is good because this is an apple from my own yard. It's got a little bit of scab on it. Doesn't hurt anything. I know what it is, apple scab. And let's just see. Lots of lots of liquid. And I got to be honest with you, this is definitely not the sweetest apple I've ever eaten. Has no aroma, and I'm quite sure this is a Granny Smith. Is it sweet? No. Got a pretty good texture. This tastes definitely different from a store bought apple. Somewhat of a thick skin or skinned apple. There's a little bit of blush right here, like a reddish blush. This is really good. Once you kind of block out that It's sweet, but not too sweet. Now, if you see the trees that these apples come from, they are very healthy. Beautiful, beautiful dark green leaves, strong, sturdy, stout trunks. Lots of juice in this apple. I've noticed that immediately where you bit through at the apple is turning brown within seconds. Because I just bit this apple and started eating it, and it's turning brown. Very good. Not sweet, but definitely crunchy, and it's not mealy or anything. It's just a apple. But could I sell this apple? No, it's not sweet enough to sell. So what I got to do is find out why this apple. Oh, hello, how you doing? Yeah, this is a Granny Smith apple. I grew. I grew. How many trees do I have at Granny Smith? One, two, three. Yeah, I have three Granny Smith trees. And I got to tell you, no holes in them nowhere from insects. And okay, that's enough of that. The skin is not as thick as the ones in the grocery store that I purchased at Aldi's. Now, apples take on characteristics of the soil that people use when they grow them in their location, and also um, the techniques that they use to grow the apple. Because that was a decent sized apple. Now this one here is kind of small. It's on the small side. I don't expect this here. It's got a lot of apple rust on it, um, but cosmetically it doesn't look that appealing. But this apple, I believe, is going to be less sweeter than that one was. Um, nice apple. Thank you, Food Forest Permaculture. Thank you. And the thing about it is the little bit of apple rust. These grew about the same time. This one here, I could tell was ready to pick because when I was moving the branch around, it just fell from the branch. It just fell. Has no discernible insect holes, and it is firm and hard. I won't eat this right now. I'm saving it for tomorrow. Let me tell you why. Because this makes two apples a day, and if you know apples, you don't want to overdo it. Um, but these apples turn brown quicker than the ones in the grocery store. Got the air conditioning on. And I am definitely curious as to why this apple wasn't as sweet. I have one Granny Smith, a couple crab apple, black honey, crisp, red, delicious, and golden delicious. Oh, sounds great. That sounds great. Like you got a nice assortment. I got a nice assortment of apples. They haven't been sprayed with pesticides. No, I never spray any of my stuff. Um, yep, fall from the branch. It is, yeah, definitely it's ready. Yeah, yeah. Um, I gotta say that the apple just wasn't sweet. I can honestly say the only serious complaint I have is apple wasn't sweet. That's it. That's it. That's why they don't turn brown as fast. Yep. Oh, okay, okay. I got you. I got you. All right. Now, as far as um, apples, I've in the past I've eaten apples from my apple trees, and here's what's happening. Some of them were incredibly sweet, incredibly sweet. Where I bit into it and said, "Oh my God, this is like it's like nature's candy," you know. And but this year, uh, uh, these two were not. And oh, hello, how you doing, Miss Sue Miller? Hello, Southwest Michigan. All right, and I got to tell you, I am excited about next year. Now, I got to tell you, the reason why I grow apples because they're meaty. You could eat enough of them, and you could put something on your stomach. Same thing with pears. Cherries, I always fought with cherries. If it wasn't the birds eating them, it was the squirrels. If it wasn't the squirrels eating them, and it goes on and on. And then if they don't bother them, the next thing is the worms. They go inside uh, the cherry. I think it's time, Rain, that not. Oh, okay. Now, I like that because that is very true. Uh, Rain can dilute the sugars. The same thing with tomatoes. If you water tomatoes very well and then pick them the next day or two, they may not be as much tomato flavor there because you're diluting the tomato sugars. But um, that being said, if you want to really concentrate their sweetness, you would probably say, okay, I'm I'm going to pick these tomatoes Friday. So you might not water them this week, and then when you pick them, they'll be nice and concentrated tomato flavor. And that's the name of that tune. Wow, my, my. And the only apples that have really been producing on my property has been the Granny Spencer, the Fuji, the Grand, and they say that apple that is very difficult to grow is the Honey Crisp. It has a very thin skin. It requires more care, and but that information is coming from companies that produce a lot of them, and they really don't want you growing your own apples because they sell apples. I've heard about the challenge of figs and growing them in colder climates. The reason why I don't grow them, that and the fact that I've never tasted a fig before. Yep. I dig up half of my potatoes and now how I should wait. Oh, okay, okay. Potatoes. And what kind of potatoes? Potatoes. I tried growing them. I would just lay them on the ground and throw a bunch of leaves on top of them. I'm in zone 7B. I have 15 in the ground. Fig trees. If you don't mind me asking, where did you get these fig trees? I have found that. Oh, okay, okay, got you. Russet potatoes. All right, good people. That's it for me. Oh, big box stores. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They got the Chicago fig, and then they got the brown turkey. Very easy to start. The potatoes, or well, that's it for me, folks. Thank you very much, and have a great evening until we can do this again.